according to social media, there's nobody here.
Yeah, there's nobody on the strip.
There's nobody.
Right?
You can roll a bowling ball down the strip and it would hit no one.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what
we're hearing, but that's not necessarily the case. But there are some things happening.
This is Las Vegas Real Estate Now with local real estate expert Harvey Blankfeld.
The headline of this article is Las Vegas is down on its luck as tourism drops. Why it's kind of California's fault. And this is written by
I'm always happy to blame California for stuff.
This is written by Terry Castleman from the LA Times.
Oh.
And so in here, he's talking about basically there's some statistics in here. Visits to Las Vegas were down 11.3% in June 2025 versus a year earlier, according to data from Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority. Traffic on Interstate 15, the California-Nevada border, was down 4.3%. How they measure that, I'll never know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they count the cars that go through state line, I guess.
I guess so, suggesting fewer visitors from the Golden State heading for Vegas casinos. The number of air travelers in Las Vegas overall declined 6.3% over the previous June. In 2024, Californians made up more than 1/5 of air travelers into Vegas, which is kind of surprising. I'm surprised a lot that many fly.
So like one of the
maybe
headlines
Northern
is
California.
International travelers aren't coming to the United States as much, right? Not coming to Las Vegas as much. And is that the reason for this? What's the story here?
Well, what they're saying, what this article is proposing is really California is causing the bigger problem than it is international. However, there is some international effect.
Is it because of gas prices in California that they're not driving here? What's the story?
That could be. Gas prices I was just there. The gas prices are crazy in California.
For sure.
A report from the World Travel and Tourism Council predicted the U.S. would lose $12.5 billion in international travel spending in 2025. Right. While other nations are rolling out the welcome mat, the U.S. government is putting up the close sign. Julia Simpson, the council's president, said it in a statement. So because of our position with tariffs and other things that we're taking right now, we're kind of angering other countries a little bit, and they're particularly Canada. Canada's kind of pissed off at us right now.
I saw they were adding a $250 visa fee to some travelers from some country and stuff. So maybe we're putting up some more resistance.
Yeah, I think that when President Trump says Canada, when he wants to make Canada the 51st state, probably not a smart thing to say. Las Vegas is not alone in its travel woes. In May, Governor Gavin Newsom predicted a quote-unquote Trump slump, cute, international travel to California brought apart by the tariff regime. And in dollar terms, however, Sin City continues to profit, even as visitor numbers drop. Clark County collected $1.16 billion in gambling revenue in June 2025, up 3.5% from the year before. Okay, so that's the most important number.
Their casinos are making more money.
They're making more money on fewer visitors right now. Okay. Not so good for the visitors.
If our profitability's up,
that just says each visitor is spending or paying more. That's not necessarily
they're gambling a little bit more. The only real gamblers are coming to Vegas right now. Maybe not so much for entertainment and other things. But here's
what was the reason Californians aren't coming here as much?
That's and it doesn't really get into that so much. Other than that they're not. Now, I think Vegas depends tremendously on discretionary income. That's what from local visitors from the U.S. particularly.
Oh, because most of the Californians became Nevadans.
They're already here. They can't visit since they're already here.
To our happy
There's
home.
plenty more over there. There's plenty more.
But I think it's interesting. John and I were kind of talking about this a little bit before the show. Is that Las Vegas, the casinos? It used to be decades ago. They had loss leaders. They had things that they would do.
Yeah.
You get the 99-cent shrimp cocktail.
You get the throwaway buffet.
The $3 buffet. You got you could park for free. All these things.
Right.
Those things have gone away in these.
And I'm a little bitter about that, truthfully.
We were talking about this before, isn't it? Yeah, the casinos have seen a way to make profit everywhere.
Right. We've spent the last, certainly the last 5 years of finding new ways to charge everybody who's going to the Strip, whether it be in parking, elimination of buffets across most of the casino properties, making everything more expensive, adding their hotel fees more and more and more.
Yeah.
Where eventually I get to a point where I don't want to pay that. Or some other destination chooses not to charge for their parking.
Indeed.
Well, I mean, it's essentially charging you a fee is forcing you to suffer an indignity of for something that should be an amenity.
Indeed. That's a great way to put it.
I'm very annoyed by the paid parking.
It takes a hostile posture towards the people that you're trying to serve.
Yeah.
The people you're trying to incline yourself towards. And if you're already pushing them away before they're even looking at you, it's like...
That's what it feels like, right?
And I'd make the case to the casinos, look, guys, you don't need to charge them for parking. They're going to spend that on your tables anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't really need to do that. And it's really hurting locals maybe more than anyone else because we're the ones driving to the casinos or people just in the general vicinity. And maybe that's what's happening to California. part of them are saying, well, I don't want to have to pay for parking anymore.
Well, but
so
it's
now I
so
don't wanna-
common in California. I mean, I visited
Oh, yeah.
plenty of areas there where the hotels are $50 a night to park at the hotel.
Absolutely, yeah.
Back in the day, my grandma. So my grandma and grandpa moved here in 1943. My grandma used to shop at the Penny's that was across the street from the El Cortez.
Okay.
Now it's the El Cortez's.
Oh, yeah.
There's a sushi place there now, and it's been all kind. But she'd park at the El Cortez, and as a courtesy for letting her park there, she'd always like drop a quarter in the slot machine. Well, the one time when she went there, she won the jackpot, and she was like walking away. They're like, "Hey, lady, get back over here!" So that was just one of the things.
Yeah,
So maybe
she was walking
they
away
might
from
have
the
overall
jackpot.
lost money on her in the first, anyways. But,
Right.
Anyways,
Look, I think that Vegas, the perspective of Vegas has changed. People don't look at it as inexpensive or cheap or a quick, easy, cheap vacation anymore. It's really about entertainment. It's about the value is in the additional product that we're providing, quote unquote, now.
Well, I just think that we have to be careful of the economic resistance. There's an elasticity to people's budgets for visiting Las Vegas. And if we only continue to lean towards luxury high end,
Yeah.
the premium traveler, you're going to get less travelers. And then let me add into this because it goes back to the BBB stuff you're talking about. They changed the tax code for gambling winnings.
yes.
Oh, that's right.
Increased it to $2,000 before it's reportable on a W2G, right?
Right.
And they said now only 90% of your losses are able to be written off
deductible,
against your
yeah.
wins. So no matter what, you got some tax liability now.
Wow.
Even if you lose every dollar you've ever won in a jackpot, you're paying some amount of additional tax.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Right.
And people
That's so
people
unfair.
with a lot of W2Gs, they're already in. Because their adjusted gross income goes
gets pushed up.
so high up, it's
Yeah, it moves your earnings into a higher tax bracket,
and then
right?
your only deduction are your gambling losses because you're not utilizing your standard deduction because your gambling losses are greater than that.
Okay.
and then you're put in a terrible.
Well, think
tax
about
position
our
already.
poker tournaments that we have. We just had the WSOP
Right.
tournament here, where you're winning $5 and $7 million as the winner of that tournament. 10% of that is now 100 basically taxable for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even if you lost $7 million that year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. You lose 100% of what you win, you still have 10%
Wow.
tax.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the new rules. So.
There's a little bipartisan conversation about changing that, but it was snuck in by the Senate in their
Okay.
revisions. They snuck it in at the last second,
So-
changing the tax code.
So maybe that's having an impact on tourism. You
I think it will going forward. I think it will
But I
going
mean,
forward.
with the gaming revenue being up, and I think that there's one of the things that the properties are doing is they're trying to, the pendulum swings both ways, right?
Of course.
And when there's an overcorrection on one side,
Yeah.
there's a disruption, and then it comes back the other way. I don't know that they're not trying to. See
Find that
where
inflection
an
point.
element that they don't want to be patronizing them
Right.
goes away.
Right.
Where's that new mean? And I
think
think that's a little bit of the experimentation that's taking place right now too.
Yeah, it's interesting that the take is up, the volume is down, so they've been catering more towards the high end.
Yeah.
But maybe that pendulum's going to start to have to swing back to get
think-
the volume up, just to get the bodies
And
up.
I think we've
because they make money elsewhere too.
Right.
And
On
we've
entertainment and-
entered a new phase too, where we've got the sports teams. We've
Oh,
got we've got this stadium coming in. We've got the high end real estate. It still has strength in it, whereas some of the middle stuff is a little bit softening.
Yep.
And so there's a fundamental shift taking place that we don't really know exactly what's happening, but I think that there's certainly some large movement taking place.
Yep, indeed.